If you ask most people what their top countries to visit would be, I would imagine Japan and New Zealand would be right on up there. But these countries are very different, aren't they? You've got New Zealand that's energetic and green and everyone's into sport. And then you've got Japan that's shrouded in mystery and deep history and no one speaks English. But what if we told you those countries are very, very similar?
I know,
and,
it was really scary.
you're a foreigner in their country and they won't like you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what someone told us.
Yeah.
In this week's show, we're going to dive in and expel some of the rumours that people had told us about Japan and prove to you just how similar the both countries really are.
It's a Drama, coming to you from Taranaki, New Zealand.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him!
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we are super excited to be talking to you about Japan and New Zealand. Is Japan like New Zealand? We've been waiting to do this show for ages.
We have, yeah, because we were in Japan a wee while ago and, we just want to tell you what it's about.
So just to give you some backstory, we travelled the world with our kids for 12 months backpacking around the world on 100 New Zealand dollars a day. We went to Japan. We thought we weren't going to be able to afford to go to Japan, and we went to Japan for a month. This was in 2018.
Yep.
And we spent the entire month couch surfing. If you haven't heard about couch surfing, it's where you turn up at people's houses, it's free, they give you somewhere to stay, and in return, when they're in your country, you give them somewhere to stay. It's a fantastic concept.
It's brilliant. You get to meet the real people.
Yeah.
Not the workers, as in the hotel workers or the restaurant workers. Real people, real families.
Real people who live in Japan,
in real Japanese paper homes.
Yeah. So we've got 14 comparisons to share with you today. We're going to jump right in because it's a big show. And we're going to be sharing with you the footage that we took while we were in Japan with our family. So it's all private, personal footage. If it's
no B-roll on this show.
It's the real deal. And the kids that you see are our kids, Sunny and Tessa, and it's me and Brian. And like I say, we're in Japan for a month. So let's go. Point number 1, friendly people. Are Japanese people friendly? It's an easy answer.
Yes, super friendly. Really, really friendly. That's what someone told us about when we went to Japan, that the people aren't going to be friendly. They don't speak English.
I know,
and,
it was really scary.
You're a foreigner in their country and they won't like you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what someone told us. Yeah. A Kiwi, actually.
It was. It was just like unbelievable how they're so curious about you.
Yeah.
They're looking at you all the time, and it's just like,
I didn't know what to expect when we turned up. I was thinking, like I say, because we were told, they're very offish, and they won't warm to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was like chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was. You can't get nicer people.
No, I was blown away by how happy. We even got on telly once, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, just people opened their heart to us, just opened their home to us, tried really hard to speak English with us. They're just gorgeous people.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there thinking about going to Japan, you're like, I don't know, the Japanese are going to be a bit, Question, yes or no, are the people friendly? Is it the same as New Zealand? What would you say?
Yes, completely different people, but super friendly. Both super friendly.
Yeah,
they
100%.
are. Yeah.
Okay, number 2, food in Japan. Obviously, not the same as New Zealand. I mean, it's Japan, it's just, you can get Japanese food in New Zealand, but this is Japan, Japanese food. Oh my God,
it's fantastic,
just gorgeous.
Isn't it? It just is great. Even the food from 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
we all know 7-Eleven,
yeah.
and there's loads of 7-Elevens in Japan, especially in the train stations.
Let's just talk about that. So street food in Japan, it's not like abundant like it is in like Thailand or Vietnam or somewhere like that. But you can get street food in Japan. We got plenty of it, didn't we?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, or even if it's not so much on the street, they're cooking it in front of you.
Yeah.
In like a marketplace or something like that.
Yeah.
It might be covered over because obviously they get rain in Japan. It's an island. So you don't see the same sort of street food as what you see in the rest of Asia, do you?
And like Brian just said before, the 7-Elevens. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. You go in and it's just, why are they so good?
Just the best egg mayonnaise sandwiches I've ever had in the world.
It's like, if you're from England, you'll know what this means. It's like the really posh side of Marks and Spencer's or Waitrose is in every 7-Eleven. You'd go in and you can get like a whole picnic lunch in there. Like, you know, sometimes you go into like a little spa or, I don't know, dairy or something, and it's just like, no.
Curly sandwiches and
you
stuff.
can't get the best.
No, yeah.
Oh, it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, and the vending machines as well. Say about that.
Yeah, you see little vending machines. You can
Everywhere.
be out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, and there's a vending machine selling iced tea and warm tea.
Yeah.
In bottles, like, you know, jasmine tea and
Condoms.
green tea. Yeah, condoms, yeah. You can get loads of condoms in Japan. Yeah, just go down the road and get a condom.
The reason I said that is because I'll have a cup of tea and a condom, please. No, the reason I said that is because someone was saying about the vending machines, and they're like, yeah, and they mentioned that you could get condoms, and it's
Yes,
just like,
that's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You do. You'll just see them there over on the right-hand side. There's the condoms. Yeah.
right. Is it like New Zealand?
No, that side of it is
no,
not like you know.
no.
You can get kind of street food in New Zealand, but it tends to be on the Sunday markets and the farmers markets, so it's not quite the same. It's not really on a street. It's in a car park or whatever it is, isn't it? Like, you know, on the side of a quay.
This is literally, we're just going over the.
Yeah, we're just going to skim over the stuff.
14 points, okay, but yeah, there's so much more we can tell you about Japan and the Japanese food and things like that.
You're having a problem saying Japan,
I
aren't
am.
you?
It's a hard word, Japan. J-A-P-A, 5 letters.
Yeah, how'd you say it again?
Japan.
Japan. It's a bit like Subaru, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Number 3, clean and tidy. Oh, Japan, clean and tidy.
It's the cleanest
I've never
country
seen
I've ever
anything
seen.
like it.
Yeah.
I really haven't.
Yeah, I even took a video of the train floor because it was the cleanest thing I've ever seen on a floor. It was just shining. There wasn't even a footprint on it.
No. Show the video of you doing the. We'll show you the video of walking on the train station here.
Yeah, we're in Tokyo, getting back on the Shinkansen, the bullet train, and those things are unbelievable. They really are.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
We will talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But you just, you know, you walk along the train station. And the train's pulled in, it's stopped there, and it's obviously going to pull out the other way because it's the end of the line. All the seats turn around, and then there's guys in little orange uniforms go around just cleaning everything.
Yeah.
It's spotless anyway, but they brush every individual seat, get all the hairs, anything off it.
It's absolutely immaculate.
And it's just, you know, it's amazing. It really is.
The other thing I want to say as well is when you eat out, I don't know, the Japanese people are just very. They just look clean, you know. When I look at them, I said that to you the other day when we were at the cafe, didn't I?
Yeah, been working for 20 hours and they still look clean.
Just look clean. Their hair's always beautiful, and their skin, and they just look clean. And it's just that's probably because they live in the cleanest country in the world.
You go into the toilets, they don't smell, do they?
No,
it's
no.
Just, wow.
We'll tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, it was just you're getting ahead of me.
I am.
Right?
Well, I'm just to remember. Things are just popping out in my head of the memories of Japan.
But it's just you don't see any litter anywhere. You know, you've got to, like, when you eat from a vending machine, you stand by it, like you don't walk along in the street and eat it. You stand and then put your rubbish in a bin, and it's just. And another interesting fact as well is that the people who work as cleaners in Japan, they're called
hygiene engineers, I believe.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Yeah, hygiene engineers, and it's like it's a well-respected job sort of thing. You know, it's not. And so maybe that's why they're so.
We were reading on that. I think they can be paid around about $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
To be a hygiene, engineer, as I was just saying. Yeah.
And that's why they do it so well. And it's just, but the only thing is, there's nothing to clean.
I know, because it's already clean, isn't it? Yeah.
I watched that guy on the train, and I was thinking, well, what is he sweeping up? Because there's not one speck of dust.
There might be a hair. That might be it. But then I would doubt
my $8,000 worth. Yeah. And my money.
Look at that! Look at our found.
So compared to New Zealand, yes or no?
That side's completely different, really, isn't it? I mean, New Zealand's clean.
New Zealand is very
you know.
clean,
I mean, and the very,
not quite as clean as Japan.
No, it's just not. No, it's not. It just isn't. You can go in the toilets here, and they can be.
True.
But you know, they do keep the toilets kind of clean over here, and people kind of respect them. So
but
that side
the
of
first
it.
thing I noticed when I came to New Zealand, when we came from the UK 12 years ago, was how clean, like the streets are clean in New Zealand.
Yeah, you do not really see any rubbish.
No,
you can do, but not really. It's just like, if there's a bin blown over and blowing down the street, then yes, all right, you're going to see a bit of rubbish.
Down the road, Her bin
New
has been
people moved in.
I cycle down there every day, and that bin has been tipped over for 3 days, and I feel like going and picking their rubbish up.
That's it. It's just not the New Zealand way, is it?
No.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they're probably Brits.
I've got to say Japan is going to win on this. That's not to say like you just say. It's just immaculate.
Yeah.
Absolutely immaculate.
It is.
Okay, before we go on to number 4, if you're watching this video, you obviously love Japan as much as we do.
Yep.
We absolutely adore that country. And it's a country that if you're thinking of visiting, it's sort of shrouded in mystique, you know? Not many people like tell you the real
Funny languages
stuff.
and guys with big swords and stuff, yeah.
So what we've got to offer you is a guide of 39 things that you need to know before you visit Japan. Things that when we got there, we were like, I wish someone had told me that. So we've put together this free guide. Go over to www.itsadrama.com/I-love-Japan and we will send it to you. So
sign up.
Click the link up above and we'll send it to you. Like I say, it's absolutely free and it's just 39 really good points.
It's just good little points that, you know.
Things you should know before you go to
that
Japan.
aren't as bad as what you think as well.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Number 4, fun fair.
Yes.
A fun fair in Japan. Oh, you thought Disney was good, Brian?
It is just a thrill-seeking day, isn't it?
It's just flipping
You're just going to be put
brilliant.
in a wash machine and sent down a tiny little railway track or something, you know, and that's what it feels like.
So we went to Nagashima Fun Fair, and that is just outside Nagoya. And I am not joking. It is. We've been to Disney, both of them, Florida and California, and it is the best. It was the best.
It's just fun fair. It's not a theme park like that.
No.
It's just an amusement park, like, you know. So you just literally go on ride to ride to ride. You know, you'll be riding upside down. The biggest, I think it's one of the biggest wooden roller coasters in the world.
Yeah.
With the biggest drop or something.
Yeah.
Or the fastest. It's just unbelievable. This thing, the engineering on it is outstanding. Made of wood. And it's huge, you know. It really,
and there's
really
this
is.
ride as well that you just go on, literally you're pinned upside down. It's just the most horrific thing. You're pinned upside down and just
you're
taken
like
on this
flying,
big
aren't you?
loop.
Oh, which one?
No, where you're like...
the washing machine one.
No,
Was that-
not the washing machine one. Literally you're held upside down and you're facing the floor.
Yeah, it's like you're flying.
Yeah.
And there's literally just the pullover thing that holds you in. And you go, it's hard to keep your head up, isn't it?
I'll tell you what though, Bri, when I was on that, you know some places you go to and you're like, I don't feel safe. It was like I felt super, super safe.
Yeah, you did.
When I was on that. In saying that, I did sort of have a little panic attack and go, I want to get off, want to get off. And it's like, you're about to go, you're not getting off.
Because you just click into it. You're almost like in this position like we are now, and then you pull the thing over, and the next minute it just flips you up, and then you're only about 4 foot from the ground, but you're thinking, oh shit, and then next minute, bump, you're gone.
But again, it's
fantastic.
Clean. It's just well engineered.
It just looks like it's been serviced right 5 minutes ago, like, you know.
Honestly, if I could go like that now and clip my fingers and be back there, I would go. It's just, and it wasn't expensive, was it?
No, not really. No,
it wasn't.
I can't remember how much it was.
I remember, neither can I. And
I think
I'm
it was
sorry,
something like $100 for all of us for the day.
It was cheap. It was a brilliant day out. It was absolutely great.
Yeah.
New Zealand, on the other hand, we've only got Rainbow's End in Auckland. Bit rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. A little bit
sorry,
rubbish.
New Zealand, but you're not going to win on this one. It's not a competition, but it's just like, is it the same? If you're looking for a fun fair, don't come to New Zealand. You could go bungee jumping though.
Oh, but that's completely different.
That's different.
They're different things, aren't they? You know, I mean, it's like anything, but we're just talking about fun fairs, aren't we? We're not talking about thrill rides because, you know, you go jet boating and whatever you want to do in New Zealand, it's just, things can just blow you away, like, you know.
And I didn't know that about Japan. I didn't know there was fun fairs there. I mean, you know, it's not my thing that I would go and look into, but oh my God, if you've got kids and you're thinking a different location to America or, you know, Euro Disney or whatever.
No, I love that. It was great.
Absolutely brilliant.
Good
well
rides.
done, Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5, traditional culture. I thought this was really, really similar to New Zealand. I don't know about you, Bri, but I had that feeling of just that deep, like in New Zealand, the Māori culture is very, very strong. It's very, very present. It has this very, I don't know, I keep saying the word deep, but that's what it feels like, rooted feeling.
Yeah, it's very, you know, in touch with earth.
Yes,
and that's what it is, isn't it? You know, whereas the Japanese, you know, they have the Shinto culture, but mainly it moved over to Buddhism, which is, I know that's going down the religious side of it, but you know, there is still that big feel of the samurai.
Yeah.
They hold on to the tradition. There's quite a few sort of castles and forts and things like that are still around from, you know, all those years ago. Even with all the earthquakes and fires that they've had, they've still got a few of them around. We went in Golden Week, and there was a big sort of lots of celebrations because a lot of people were off, weren't they? And so they were going around doing all these dancing, and it's kind of hard to figure out what they're actually doing. But
when you're just watching something like that, it's like watching The Hacker or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just
it
that,
is. Yeah.
Like I say, it stirs you, you know.
Yeah.
And Japan has got that as well, the same as New Zealand.
Yeah,
it's just
it does.
very similar.
We missed out on one of these. One of the big famous things over there, which we haven't got any video of this, is where they have this huge big log, and they roll it down these almost like super steep hills, don't they?
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
either holding onto it or it's rolling and following it.
I'd love to see
and
that.
some people get killed when they're doing it, and it's just outstandingly crazy, like, you know. And you just think, why on earth do they do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Esme, I'd love to see that. And then you went and said, oh, they get killed.
People do, and it's just like they haven't
Psycho.
stopped it. Like, you know, it's like, you know, you almost must have signed an agreement. If that log rolls over, you don't mind. No, not at all.
Number 6, bike riding. Because we were on a budget, and
Yep.
like I say, we were, you know, we didn't hire a car or anything like that. So we bought a train ticket, but we spent a lot of our time riding bikes around Japan.
Yep.
It's super, super bike friendly. The cities are very, very, very
Yeah, and you can hire
bike-friendly.
bikes, and it's, you know, again, just the way they organise it all. You know, you go to this like underground sort of car park, and you know, you it's very it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you have to give them all these details and everything, you know, your passport, this, that, and the other, and then you get this card, and you just literally go in, you swipe it through, and then you go through like a turnstile. And then your bike lights up in the thing that you can pull it out from, like, you know? So you have to take the correct bike.
Yeah, so you're going to
It's
see
brilliant.
video of us, and we're going around Takamatsu. This is one of the first people that we couch surfed with. The city, like I say, is just so quiet. It just felt safe. Unlike New Zealand, you don't have to wear helmets. I mean, I don't know if they didn't tell us to wear helmets, but
No,
you know,
they didn't,
it was
did they?
just,
No, yeah.
I know
yeah.
maybe we should have done, but it just felt lovely to be able to cycle around
Yeah.
and just.
And there's lots of, on the sidewalks, it's designed for bikes. So you'll see a part, and, you know, you'll have a little painting on the floor, which is that side is for the bike. So if there are pedestrians out, they just keep off that area. So you're not constantly ringing your bell, like, move out the way, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know, and you're not on the road with the cars. So
Yeah.
it is great. And, you know, you get right of way across the intersections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they've really got it sorted, haven't they?
Is Japan like New Zealand when it comes to bikes?
No, it's not. It's not quite the same.
No.
New Zealanders like biking and things, but tend to be more for sport than you know. It's different in the city centres nowadays, especially with electric bikes. It is all changing because you know, people are loving their electric bikes, aren't they?
Yeah,
They really are.
But I wouldn't say that, like, when I go to Auckland or Wellington, the cities
you
are
wanna hop on
geared
a
up
bike.
for a bike.
No.
I'll tell you what they do is these little scooter things, you know, that you pay for and you go round.
Yeah.
Well, not called scooters, are they?
Well, they are the scooters, electric scooters.
Yeah.
Blimp, and there's all sorts of ones now, isn't there?
I think it's
you know,
Blip.
Blip.
It's not blimp.
Blimp. There's a good year blimp, wasn't it?
Okay, number 7, public transport. We went on the bullet train. That's what our chunk of money went on
Yeah.
when we went to Japan,
Well,
was the bullet
we
train.
had a budget, and like we were saying, it was $100 a day, and so we were there for 30 days. And because our accommodation was, we didn't spend a penny in Japan on accommodation because we couch surfed and did all these things, servers, which is a similar thing. So it cost us around about, I think it was $2,800 to get
New Zealand.
New Zealand, yes. So and that was to get a Shinkansen pass you could use anywhere around Japan, and that was at any time of the day as well. So, you know, it's not just at certain times. I think there was a few exceptions, but we never really travelled at the super busy times.
It's a lot of money, but it's blooming worth it. Isn't
yeah,
it,
but
Brian?
when you actually look at how much it is to hire a car, or is it just to take one train journey with the four of you, would it be
Yeah.
like $200 or $300, like, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, we wanted to get down to Hiroshima and things like that, and you could just jump on the train everywhere.
Yeah.
It was like getting on the
And
plane,
they're
wasn't
always, without exception, on time.
it? To the second.
Yes, to the second. They are not going to be late.
That leaves, it goes on your watch, you know, 9:30 and 1 second,
Yeah.
and bang, it's going out the door.
They're
you
a
know?
joy to go on. Everything is in English at the top, so
Yeah.
don't be worrying about, I'm not going to know what train station to get off. They say it in Japanese and then they say it in English. It's just easy to use. It's flipping brilliant. You go on there and it's like being on a fun fair ride. It's clean, it's brilliant, it's lovely.
Yep.
And it's so convenient.
And
so,
if you've got because the Japanese aren't allowed this same pass, it's only for travellers that get this pass. So when you get to the train station, you have a separate gate that you go through, and you literally just show the people, and they just look at it and they wave you through.
Right.
So it's brilliant. You know.
So is it like New Zealand?
No, not at all. Yeah,
no.
New Zealand doesn't really have a rail network around the country.
No.
It really doesn't. There are trains you can get from Auckland to Wellington, and there's local trains around those areas, but it's not
You're
really.
relying, I think...
there is a train system here, but it was kind of broken up a long time ago by the
You're relying on
Americans,
buses.
actually.
When you come to New Zealand and you're thinking, okay, well, what public transport will I use? You'll be looking at like those coaches, and they're good because you can get
you can get around
a ticket for $1 sometimes,
and you meet a lot of
you?
interesting people. Yeah, but if you come in on holiday here to New Zealand, you normally will be on like a tiki tour, which you'll be going around with a bunch of people.
Yeah, or you hire a car.
Yeah.
But no, so Japan...
Or a camper.
Yeah, Japan is brilliant.
Public transport is unbelievable.
Yes,
yeah, buses, and that includes buses as well. Yeah.
Okay, number 8, scenery. Scenery in Japan, is it similar to New Zealand?
Yes, it is.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Both are beautiful, beautiful countries.
Yeah.
And the scenery is very similar.
It's a super green country. You
Yeah.
tend to think, it's like, you see Tokyo, and that's what you think. But it's just the similarity sometimes is uncanny.
It is,
You know, the trees kind of look the same, and,
the hills, the mountains.
Because it's a similar type sort of island when you think about it. We're on the Pacific Ring of Fire. They get earthquakes. We get earthquakes, volcanoes. They've got volcanoes.
Yeah.
We've got volcanoes. It's like Mount Fuji looks very similar to Mount Taranaki in New Zealand, because they did film The Last Samurai here in New Plymouth.
So yes, in answer to your question, when you're thinking about is Japan like New Zealand, the scenery very, very similar.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country.
I wouldn't be able to say which one was nicer. I really wouldn't, because they're both absolutely stunning.
Yeah, you're riding along on the trains, and you look over and you see the ranges in the background, but then you'll see some paddy fields, so you kind of know you're in in Japan.
Yeah.
So that side of it, that doesn't look the same. But the majority of the scenery, there's so many times we've just said, my God, this is so like
New Zealand.
New Zealand. You just the greenery and the backgrounds and things, and it is a fantastic country.
Number 9, futuristic things.
Yeah.
Japan, you hear all those things and it's like you expect to go and then just like all this neon and all this spaceships flying around the city and all stuff like that. It's not far off it. It's a really futuristic country, I think.
Well, some of the architecture is very futuristic, isn't it? But everything that you can get over there, you can kind of get over here, but it just feels
but
like...
why? It's just, the toilets, right? Okay, here's a really good example. Yeah. You've probably heard this before, but the toilets, or I know you're supposed to say bathroom if you're not common like me, but in Japan, you're never going to want to come out. That's why we didn't spend any money in Japan, because all we did is stay in the toilets all day.
Just sit on the toilet all day.
Listening to the music.
It plays music or sounds when you're on the glue to hide any other sounds. Warm seat, yeah.
Like Bryce said, music, it's just, bum dryer.
Yeah, a bum dryer. The thing is you open the cubicle and the seat opens for you, and you're like...
Immaculate. It's absolutely lovely.
Yeah. And it is, and it's just like, warm water splashing in places that I've never known existed.
And the other thing that's really futuristic as well, just everything like the buildings, and it's everything that you imagine, like when you go to Tokyo and it's got all the neon and all that. Everything like that is exactly like it, that people say it is.
It's like when you go to New York, you're in New York, where you do know you're in Japan.
This just feels like, I don't know, one notch up, doesn't it?
Well, you arrive into a city on the Shinkansen and you're just like, straight away, you just think, wow.
Yeah, you do. And the other thing as well, like we went to a sushi bar, and I know you can get sushi bars in New Zealand, they're popping up more and more now. But this one, it just went and this cups just came out the table, and then the waitress would come over and pour the water into the cups, and then you just had this little telly that you just and they're cars that they drive as well.
It's the entertainment systems in the cars, because it doesn't seem to be like, when you have a DVD player in your car and it's on the main sort of head unit. you can't see it if you drive. You're not allowed to watch it. But they're watching the news and everything, and they've got a huge big screen in the back.
That's
but
dangerous.
it's just like, what is it? I don't know. They don't.
What, watching the news while you're going along?
What's the difference to listen to it these days? You're looking at this, you're looking at that, you're looking at your sat
you
nav.
should be looking where you're going, but don't you get any ideas? You won't be having one of those
But I'm
cars.
not saying that, am I? I'm just saying in Japan.
You're riding your bike.
Because I remember saying to the people there, "Are you allowed to do this?" Yep. What's the problem?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the roads are safe here in Japan.
So is Japan like New Zealand on that point? No. It isn't. New Zealand is very down to earth. I'm not saying that there isn't any, go and watch our Is New Zealand Behind the Times video. That will show you how ahead of time New Zealand is, but it hasn't got any futuristic posh toilets, that's for sure.
No, it just doesn't. Yeah. It's all about backflow over here.
Number 10, peace and quiet. Peace and quiet in Japan. For such a populated country, you can hear a pin drop. In fact, we're going to show you. We went to Kyoto Station. Is that how you say it? Kyoto?
Yes, Kyoto. Yes,
Yeah,
it's the old capital of Japan before Tokyo was. Back in the days of the samurai and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the empire, it would have been. The emperor would have lived there.
We're just going to show you some footage. Okay, we turned up at this station, this railway station, and listen to how quiet it is.
Yeah.
So just everywhere you go, like I say, the fairgrounds, the trains, the city, the bus stations, the railway stations. There's just a piece of there's just calm.
There's a calmness and a respect for everybody's space. You notice it when you're walking through a busy train station in, say, London. It's almost like everyone is squeezing past each other, and bumping into each other and. But here, everyone gets their own space, and it's just like if you're walking into someone, they actually notice, and they will take a step to the side.
Yeah.
You've got a backpack on, they'll let you come through, type thing, and that's even at rush hour type thing.
Yeah.
And we did it. We had big backpacks on, and everybody not so much moving out your way, but you were
just respect
it's
you,
just
don't
respect.
they? And it's just. Everything just seems to work like clockwork. Like you get masses of people and they all seem to walk in the right direction at the railway station. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but say
or
you're
walking up the stairs and none of them would walk down the other way.
Yeah, you're over on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, but they tend to have up and down stairs. So everyone goes up on that side.
Yeah.
It's not like down one on the other. But the other thing is like, so you say you're queuing for your Shinkansen car number 14, because there's 14 carriages on it. You find exactly where it is on the train station, and you stand in a little queue all along that. So everyone's queuing in the right place.
Just calmly.
Yeah. So when the train stops, it's exactly where it should be. You're not searching where is train carriage number 13 or whatever it is.
And it's a funny thing because, like we just said before, it's super futuristic. The Japanese work hard. They're busy people.
Yeah.
So how come they've got this calmness about their country?
I don't, because
it's like just going to a really lovely meditation retreat. When you just. It's just lovely, and it rubs off on you. You end up feeling. When we watch the footage back, we're like, oh, look how calm we look. It's just that. But
the thing is like, we were staying with people, and they would go to work all day, and they'd probably work 14 hours a day. They really do, don't they? And then they would come back and they say, right, we'll take you out for something to eat. And you're like, you've been working all day, and they wouldn't let you pay and things like that. They're so generous as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
It was just unbelievable.
So is New Zealand the same? Is it calm?
Yes, New Zealand's calm.
Yeah,
it's very calm. Yeah,
not quite as calm as Japan.
No, it's not, because you get silly billies on the road over here that will.
Well, we live here, so it
that
can't
will
be
give you a beep if you're like trying to put your car into drive just to pull away from the.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that, are we? We're talking about Japan.
No, but that's that calmness, that's the only difference,
It's just you can't stand it. You just have to get that in, don't you? About the drivers.
Come on, New Zealand.
Okay. Number 11, karaoke. Again, it was one of those things that I heard about Japan, like, oh yeah, they love karaoke. And I thought, oh, that can't be true. Oh.
They love karaoke.
They love karaoke.
Yeah,
so we turned up. Literally, we had a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old with us. And you know what they're like at that age. They're so flipping self-conscious, aren't they? And we turned up at this couch surfer lady, and she was just beautiful woman, lovely.
She was gorgeous,
her name is
wasn't she?
Mana.
Yep.
She is gorgeous. If you're watching this, Mana, which I doubt you are beautiful, and I love you.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm going to do something really traditional with you. We're going to take you to a karaoke bar. And I just thought, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
And the kids were like,
she didn't say bar, did
no,
she?
we're going to take you to do karaoke.
To do karaoke. So we were thinking a bar, weren't we? You know?
And I just thought, and the kids were like, please, no, please tell her we don't want to do it. And I'm like, no, we're going to do it. We're in Japan, we're going to do it. And we're just going to show you some footage now, the difference that, because we turned up at this, it was like a big hotel.
It's like going into a cinema.
It was.
You know, like a...
It's the middle of the day.
Yeah.
You go, you buy your tickets, so like Bryce said, walk in like almost like a cinema.
Like a boutique cinema. And, you know, with small sort of booths and things like that. And
you just go in and there's like this masses of rooms, like it's like a hotel. You go in, imagine you're going in and there's all these rooms and it's all a hotel. And every single room is a karaoke room. And you pay and you get that room to yourself. Then you can go out, you can get ice cream, you can get tea, coffee, drinks.
And that's all included in the price.
All included in the price. And literally you go in there and you just sing karaoke for 2 hours. We're just going to show you some video.
Tables in the
Let's
middle.
just show you some video.
Yeah, it's easy to show you video, isn't it?
So as you can see, we were so into it. These introvert people that were like, oh, you know, it was flipping brilliant, absolutely amazing. And you know what? The Japanese, they go for like business meetings.
Yeah,
they
do.
take clients, business clients, and have a good sing-song in the karaoke.
Or they just go by themselves sometimes. They just want to go because they're going to be going at the weekend with their friends.
And it releases stress, you know,
It's
when like
brilliant.
it is.
Yeah.
Once you get over that initial, oh, you know, this is a bit awkward.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Are New Zealanders like it?
No. Because they have karaoke night. And that's about it, really, isn't it? And the karaoke bars, which they do here, but it's like, blimey heck, that is on a different level, you know. And I thought it was going to, when the girl said we're going to karaoke for 2 hours, I was like, oh no, karaoke for 2 hours. But it went like that.
We loved it. We didn't want it to end. It was one of those things. Like, oh, is that it? We have to go.
Great experience.
Yeah,
it just really, really was, because you've always heard about it.
Yeah,
and there it is.
It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, number 12. We couldn't do this without mentioning Tokyo, because Tokyo is one of those places that when you hear about, you're like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to go to Tokyo and walk around on my own at night, or I wouldn't want to go, because it sounds it's like Tokyo. Yeah. Tokyo was the most beautiful. It felt safe. It felt quiet. Yeah. We're going to show you some footage of us just walking around the streets. Let's just have a look at that. And yeah, it was one of those places that it didn't feel, I couldn't believe that I was there and going, I'm in Tokyo, you know? Yeah. All the neon signs, Brian, you know?
It was just brilliant. It really, really was, yeah. Because, it's hard to describe it. You need to go and see it.
Yeah, we went to a lovely park and things. But yeah, Tokyo is just absolutely fantastic. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh yeah, Tokyo is just for that, like, you know, the exciting, glitzy, famous people that are just going to.
It doesn't feel like a huge big city.
It wasn't intimidating. That's the word I'm looking for. So, like New Zealand, so our capital city is Wellington. Do you feel safe going around Wellington? Is it intimidating?
No, it's not. But no, it's not.
So I'm going to say it's that. I mean, obviously, it's not the same.
Yeah, there's always going to be sleazy bars anywhere you go.
No, but I mean, it's not like don't think going to Wellington is going to be like going to Tokyo, because it's not. It's completely different. But
Wellington's tiny.
Yeah, it is.
Really
yeah,
is.
Wellington is like going to a village.
It's
It feels really friendly. It feels like, you know, everyone knows each other. I don't know. Just it's got a nice feel. Wellington, so same as Tokyo. Yeah, but not the same. Same, but different.
Yep.
Okay, number 13. Nearly there now. But number 13, getting outside. So one thing I didn't expect about the Japanese is I imagined that they would be very indoor people, like they'd work hard and then when they finish work they would just stay inside, like, you know. But we were really surprised to see that when we went to Yoshino, for example, we were really it fell on a Sunday and people were outside and they were you know.
But it was that golden week, so it was a holiday time.
But they were like getting all their picnics out and they were down by the river, like, you know, spending time outside by the beach, which I just thought was really nice. You know, they're all, you see people in the parks a lot, you know, like riding the bikes. So yeah, just like an outdoory lifestyle.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Not the same as New Zealand, I don't think. New Zealand is all outdoors.
It's huge outdoors.
Kiwis
Yeah.
love everything outdoors.
Yeah, they do.
So I wouldn't say it's the same as that, but that's not to say that the Japanese don't like getting out and about and doing fun things like going to the beach.
Yeah, but they do, because even when we were down in what's it called? Takamatsu. And you get to sort of 5 or 6 o'clock and people start to come out. They're all going out on that wharf, weren't they?
Yeah,
the one we're recycling along. And
yeah.
So they do like to get out and about, fishing off the rocks and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone enjoys where they are. And
Yeah.
you get some seriously good weather. It was very hot when we were there. We were there in May, weren't we?
Yeah. Okay, number 14, the last one, and the one I've been so excited to share with you simply because of what Sunny says. Barbecue. Okay, barbecue. Ooh. I was not expecting the Japanese to do barbecue.
I know you don't. You tend to think it's like Australian, American, that sort of thing, don't you? But these people that we were staying with, and it's a big shout out to Hiro. That's his name is Hiro.
Yeah.
It's Mana's father.
Yeah.
He gave me this Japanese rugby shirt. I swapped it for my All Blacks rugby shirt. We took our tops off and swapped them over on a night out. And it's like a fantastic,
He was nearly crying when Brian did that.
He couldn't believe I gave him an All Black. I swapped it,
And these people that looked after us for 4 or 5 days, were just the most wonderful, warm hosts, beautiful people.
Yeah.
And Brian said, look, I want you to have my All Blacks t-shirt, because he was like, he loved the All Blacks, didn't he?
He did. It was just, he could not believe it that I was going to part with my beloved
lovely.
All Black t-shirt, you know? And it was, the idea was to plan to take it around the world. It had been through Sri Lanka, India, Thailand, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and I got to Japan and I swapped it out for this brilliant Japanese rugby shirt.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to show you now. So the people that we stayed with, this is a very private video, but we wanted to share with you simply because of what Sunny says at the end. I think you're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So we're going to show you the barbecue that we went to in Japan.
Yeah.
Too, bro? Because he's at the barbecue, eh, bro? Some sausages over there cooking on the barbie, just like back in New Zealand.
So as you can see, barbecues, that was the best night. It was just, they had all their friends round and it was so sociable. So is Japan like New Zealand for barbecue? Yes.
They love their barbecue.
Yes, they love their barbecues, and so do the Kiwis.
Yeah, and their barbecue areas around the house. That's what it's about. Like, it's like not just the barbecue, but the barbecue area. And that's what Kiwis love.
So in conclusion then, when people say, is Japan like New Zealand? I hope you've got from those 14 points that it's very, very similar, but it's very, very different. Yeah. I think both countries are just wonderful places.
Countries. Yeah, they drive on the correct side of the road.
Yeah, so, they drive on the same side, as New Zealand, don't they?
Yeah, and the same as the UK.
But if you're sitting there thinking, I'd love to go to Japan, but I'm not quite brave enough, I don't speak Japanese, and I've heard this about them, remember to sign up for our free guide. Yeah. Just click the link, www.itsadrama.com/I-love-Japan, and I will send you those points about what you should know, 39 points of what you should know before you go to Japan. But honestly, it is the best country ever, as well as New Zealand. You know, it
was one of our favourite places going around the world. It really was, because it was just so calm.
We hope you've enjoyed this week's show. And
what are they going to watch next?
We're going to watch What Not to Say to a Kiwi. It's a really fun video. It's things you shouldn't say when you come to New Zealand. So I think you're going to love that. It was really great making that show.
Yeah, it was a good laugh, that one. Yeah.
But until then, let's just say we have loved making this show for you. Whoops. And we will see you next time. Stay safe. Lovely to have you with us. We love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting us, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, kia kaha, stay strong. We'll see you soon. And kia u, stay true.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him.
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello.